I'm Steve Facen, and I'm the Director of Environmental Health and Safety here at Wake Forest University, and that is part of the Facilities and Campus Services Division of the university. The EHS role here on campus is to assure that the university's compliance with a number of federal, state, and local agencies, mostly regulatory agencies, and part of that also is working with the EPA and OSHA. We'd like to see that the programs that we have designed for the university are here to protect the environment, health, and safety of not just the students and the faculty, but also the staff and members of the community. Air quality is monitored on campus by several devices that we use. One is called, in particular, a particle counter, and that will measure small particles that are in smoke or in the atmosphere. The other one is a chemical analyzer, and what that will do is pick up any nitrogen dioxide or ammonia that may be in the air. And we use these devices and test on a regular basis to see what the condition of the atmosphere is around the campus. We just want you to know we're working directly with the EPA, with the fire department, with the county, and we've been working with them ever since this first started. So we want to make sure that the environment is safe for not just our students, but our faculty, staff, and the community at large. And one of the things that's been able to help us with that is we're all sort of testing together. Okay, so here on campus, the EHS group is using our monitors. We go up to the chapel, we check a couple of times a day, and we'll check for particulate matter and we'll check for chemicals. We check to make sure that there are no levels that are potentially harmful. And we also will move around if there are areas that we think may be closer to a smoke plume. But in addition to this, the EPA is also monitoring here on site at Wake Forest University. And that really helps us out because then we have two direct data points that we can look at. And in addition to those, we can add the ones from the county. They have three sites around the county that they can use. And the fire department as well is using monitoring directly on site and at the 1 mile point from the fire. So taking all these things into account, we can say pretty pretty assuredly that the air is safe here on campus, that it is safe to breathe, that there is no potentially harmful chemicals that are going to be in the air that will be breathed in. So what we have found is the air quality is actually very good here on campus. Our testing has shown that there has been no exceedance of any chemicals coming from the fire at the Weaver fertilizer plant. So we are thankful for that, and we will continue to monitor for that. We have also found that the level of particulate matter is quite low. So it is not in exceedance of any of the standards for long-term exposure. And we continue to monitor this. And with changes in wind direction and recent rains, we find that this will probably diminish even further. Well, it's important to understand what is tested for and why we test for these different components. And in this case, the ammonium nitrate fertilizer at the Weaver plant, it's a chemical oxidizer, meaning that it adds oxygen to an existing fire, so it burns more intensely. The point is that not all of the ammonium nitrate is consumed in the fire, so some of the byproducts like nitrogen dioxide or ammonia are released to the atmosphere. In addition, the wood pallets, building materials, or anything else consumed by the fire is also going to be released as byproducts and generally consist of small particles that are going to float away. And in speaking with the EPA Region 4 representative, the data that they have collected is in matches what the WFU monitoring has revealed, and that there has been no exceedances of the chemical byproducts, and specifically the nitrogen dioxide and ammonia that result from this type of fire. So elevated particles from combustion, again, are also tested, and we haven't seen any long-term exceedances of that. And we will continue to actively monitor the air quality on campus along with the local, state, and federal agencies to ensure that the safety of the community is kept at a paramount. We continue to actively monitor the air quality on campus, working with local, state, and federal agencies. So we continue to work with the fire department, with the EPA Region 4, and with the county. Here on campus, we will continue to monitor with our devices to make sure that the air continues to be safe. The EPA Region 4 monitors are here on campus as well, so they are also monitoring directly here on campus. The county is monitoring around the campus, so there are 3 sites around the campus that they are monitoring. And then finally, the fire department monitors directly on site at the fire, and they also will monitor at the 1 mile mark. Now, with all of that data together, we can really make a confident decision that the air on campus is safe. It's safe for individuals to be outside. It's safe for individuals to be here on campus. And one thing to remind you as well, each one of the buildings that we have on campus has its own filtration system. So the air coming into the buildings is actually filtered before it is sent to the ducts for distribution throughout the building itself. So they are working at a very high rate and a very high efficiency. So anything that may come onto campus in terms of smoke is actually captured before it would enter into any of the buildings that we have. Certain reports have seemed to indicate that perhaps the air is not safe in the community, within the Wake Forest community or outside the Wake Forest community. And uh, what we believe is some of these reports are looking at data for directly around the plant, where there truly is a potential for a problem with air quality, as that is very close to where the combustion is actually occurring. In our area at Wake Forest University, and indeed in the surrounding communities, we do not see that those levels or near anything near those levels that they are finding at the plant. And indeed, as I have said, that we have not found any chemical products that would be from the combustion of the ammonium nitrate here on campus. So our air is quite healthy here on campus.